Very few of us from amongst us will do that. Why? Because this is too low for us. We feel that we are above this. This is not for us. Yet we need the same thing for our children. We need it for ourselves. Let me give you another example. Everything that we're doing today, it's not for the sake of Allah. It's got the it feeling in it. It's for the sake of people. It's for the sake of show. Even our religious things. Janazah namaz, for example. Why do we pray janazah namaz? Not because it is an obligation on the right of the person that's passed away. Why? Because if we don't read his, nobody's going to come from his family to read ours. Or because he came to ours, so we should repay that and go read his. Same thing with weddings. Why do we go? Because he came to ours. If we don't go, he won't come to us. Every single thing and every aspect of our life, you will see that somewhere down the line, it's got this very illness which made the shaitan from one amongst the highest of the high, it took him to the lowest of the low. Let me just give you a few examples of what happens to big timers. Because everybody today is a big timer. Let me give you an example of Namrud. This guy, if you open the books of Tariq, this guy was a proper big timer. He wasn't one of those, okay, when he's in trouble, he'll pick up his mobile phone. He won't take on the guy one to one. He'll pick up his mobile phone, he'll ask for 20 other guys, and all 20 will come, and they will jump this one guy. Not one of those. And this guy didn't have a few mercs to his name either. If you open the books of history, this guy ruled the entire world. He was a proper big time. Imam Mujahid says that 4 people have ever ruled the world. Mu'minan wa kafiran. 2 of these people were believers, and 2 of these people were non-believers. And one of those that has been mentioned in here, the believers being Sayyidina Zul Qarnayn and Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, and the non-believers being Bukhti Nasr and this Namrud. Let me just relate an incident here, how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of this Namrud, and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for him. The great Allama Rumi relates in his Mathnawi, on one occasion Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Sayyidina Israel alayhi salam, O Israel, did you ever really feel saddened at taking out somebody's soul? He replied by Allah, yes. It so happened on one occasion that there was this ship sailing. You told me to break it. I broke it into pieces. And then you told me to take out everybody's soul. I took out everybody's soul. All that remained, you told me to take out everybody's soul except this woman and her child. I took out everybody's soul except for this woman and her child. And they clung onto some piece of wood. And with difficulty, the wind blew them to the shore. And I was so happy that they had made it to the other side and they had survived. O Allah, after this, when they got to the other side and all the difficulty they went through, you told me to take the mother's soul, leaving the child. And I did as you told me, and I took out the mother's soul, leaving the child alone. Oh Allah, you know at that time how saddened I was. And to this day, the thought of that incident saddens me. After this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Sayyidina Israel, now let me tell you about this child. And what I did for this child. and how I took care of his upbringing and how I looked after the child. The child was on the shore. The waves came, and I told the waves, and I ordered the waves to throw this child in a jungle full of fruit trees and springs of sweet water. The waves did this. I ordered the wind to be moderate with him. I ordered the clouds never to pour rain down on him. I ordered the sun not to directly pass over him. I ordered the lightning to stay away. I ordered the season autumn not to take away moderation from him. This is how I took care of his upbringing. And then there was this cheetah which gave birth. I ordered this cheetah to feed him and give this child milk. And the child grew by day. As he grew, I then ordered the jinns to teach him how to speak. And I ordered the jinns to teach him how to rule. And I kept on showering him with my countless blessings, till this child was no longer in need. O Israel, do you know how this child repaid me? This is the very Namrud that when he was told to bow down before the Almighty Allah, he claimed, Ana Rabbukumul A'la. Never mind bowing down before the Almighty Allah, I am your Lord Most High. He is the one that objected on Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam and asked Ibrahim, who is your Lord? And Sayyidina Ibrahim replied, as the Quran says, Rabbi alladhi yuhyi wa yumeet, that my Lord is the one who gives life, and my Lord is the one who gives death. The fool turned round, Ana uhyi wa umeet, okay, I also give life and I also give death. So what he did was, he took a free man and he ordered the executioner to behead him, and off came his head. And then there was a man with regards to whom the sentence of death had been passed. He ordered the executioner to behead him, and he was beheaded. He said, look, I've given life and I've given death. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, okay. And he went for the kill, knowing that this guy is a proper fool. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْتِي بِالشَّمْسِ مِنَ الْمَشْرِقِ فَأْتِ بِهَا مِنَ الْمَغْرِبِ. Allah brings the sun from the east, you bring it from the west. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ وَاللَّهُ لَا يَحْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And his lips were sealed. When one suffers from this illness, then this person becomes blind. He cannot see anything other than himself. I mean, just look at this guy. He's ruling the entire world, and yet he was such a fool that the Mufassirin write under the verse of the Quran, وَإِن كَانَ مَكْرُهُمْ لِتَزُولَ مِنْهُ الْجِبَالِ, that he took some eagles when they were young, and he fed them with meat till they became nice and big and fat. And then he took some rope and he tied it to their feet. And he took a box and he tied it to this box. And then he put some guy inside this. And he says, go and see if you can see the Lord of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And it doesn't come to an end. Allah sent an angel to tell him to bring Iman. He says, too right, I'm going to bring Iman. Why don't you just tell your Lord that we'll settle the score here and now? Go on, tell him to bring his boys. Sayyidina Jibreel says, okay, we'll play that game. Can you imagine the guy who ruled the whole world? Can you imagine the size of his army? How much he must have possessed? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. You want to play that game? The armies of Allah, Allah chose the weakest of his armies. Ba'udha, machar, mosquitoes. And Allah ordered these mosquitoes that you will eat from their flesh. They're animals and these people, but you will not touch him. And these mosquitoes came, short period of time, and all that remained from his armies and his animals were bones and nothing else. And this guy still not learned his lesson. Says, told you so, they can't touch me. Look, still alive. And he went home and went to sleep. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered one little mosquito. Okay, go on, bite one of his lips. Just give him a little sting. He won't even feel it, just give him a little sting. And it bit him. And it became red and green and blue. And he's now running to all these doctors. And he's tried every medicine that he can get his hands on. And there is no cure. And the doctors advise, there's no cure to this, you'll have to cut it. And he cuts his lip. Then Allah orders the very same mosquito now bite his upper lip. Small little thing comes to this big time and bites his upper lip. Again, he's tried every medicine there is, no cure. Runs to the same doctors, same answer. Cut it. He cut it. Allah orders the very same mosquito not go bite his nose. Comes and bites his nose, the same story. No cure, you'll have to cut your nose. And he cuts his nose. Allah orders the same mosquito enter and sit on his brain inside his head. And eat from his brain every day a little. It enters and it begins to eat his brain. In the narration, in the historical narration, it says, فَكَانَ أَرْحَمُ النَّاسِ بِهِ الَّذِي يَدُقُّ فَوْقَ رَأْسِهِ مَسْتَطَعَ. The most generous and merciful and kind to him was the one that would crack his head as much as he could. Because when they cracked his head, he felt a bit ease. Can you imagine how big of a fool that this guy must have looked? Rules the entire world at his feet. And can you imagine this disgrace? And how big of a nutter he must have looked, where the guy's just cracking his own head. And he's getting people to crack his head. And this is what the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says. وَمَنْ تَكَبَّرَ وَضَعَهُ اللَّهُ. And whoever thinks he's the man, this is the way Allah brings him down and disgraces him. Rules over the entire world. And I said the reality of man is such that if a